Hello guys, welcome to the latest episode of Every Platform Ireland, and today we start here at Castlebar, located on the Athlone to Westport line. So we're sort of what we would know as the far west of Ireland, where we're going to be heading west, basically where Noah's pointing. Yes, Noah is here, of course he is. And we're going to be travelling over to Westport. We're also going to be doing the small branch line to Ballina from I cannot say it. Manulla Junction. There we go.
Manulla Junction.
Manulla Junction. Yeah, it's a bit of a tongue twister, that one. We'll talk about the station and its facts in just a moment. Obviously, this is my first visit to Ireland of 2024. So I'm hoping it's first of many, because I've got some plans for being over here again, which is good. So if you do wish to check out any updates on trips and posts, check out my Facebook group. Also check out my Instagram at KTVvids for story updates. So without further ado, let's begin today's episode of Every Platform Ireland here at Castlebar. Enjoy. Right, so to kick things off on the video today, we are here just in Castlebar's town centre. And just up here, we're outside Hell's Kitchen. It's actually known as Castlebar's Railway Museum, and it is the only pub in the world that's got a full-scale train inside the actual bar. The train in question is a 001 locomotive, which was withdrawn from service fully in the late 1990s. You can also tell it's a railway museum because up here is an old semaphore signal as well. So there's that one. But yeah, so it's a pub, bar and a museum all in one way, basically. Sorry, a pub, a restaurant and a museum, I should say. And yeah, it's also named Hell's Kitchen, but unfortunately the owner is not called Gordon Ramsay. But what I can tell you is that yeah, it holds a lot of sort of old 1950 history of the railway from dating back to at least 1950. And then the most recent thing is the 001 locomotive. When it got withdrawn, they had to basically reconstruct the whole thing to bring it over here, and then they put it into a pub. So there it is. Can't go in because it's not open, but Hell's Kitchen, a museum, a pub and a restaurant. We're going to go to the station now, and we'll enlighten you on some facts about the actual station now. Right, so proper welcome now to the first railway station, because obviously we started the video when we went to the railway museum, but we're here now back at Castlebar station. So a couple of facts about it. This station isn't riddled with facts at all. The station does look very nice. The station waiting area on the other platform is quite big. It kind of looks like a big assembly hall, to be honest. It's just like this hut, but it looks quite good. Very historic old building. The station, like many others, was an 1800 station, so I believe 1840s, I want to say, maybe 1830s, but very old, very old, and they've not really changed the way it looks, and that's the same with a lot of these Irish stations. Now, a fact about the actual place, Castlebar, it is also twinned with, would you believe it, Newark in New Jersey. It is twinned with it. And I had no idea until I looked that up and saw that it was twinned with the really big town, or big city. It's not even a town, it's a city in New Jersey of Newark. Not the one in Lincolnshire though, because that's in the UK. But yeah, in terms of a bus service, the only bus that runs out of here is the local link, which Noah just looked at. What was the route number?
526. And then you have also bus air in 429 that starts here and goes to Galway.
So the 49 to Galway as well. So Galway's not where we're heading today, but that does head from here. But yeah, so Westport line also is a bit, it's not as infrequent as some of the other lines that we have been on in the past. It's certainly not as infrequent as Rosslairs line, because Rosslairs line is quite badly infrequent.
That local link as well actually connects with the Galway line, because Manulla is actually on the Galway line. It's the first stop after Athlone on Galway.
So there you go, yeah, and we'll go there on another video. So that's Castlebar. The next station we're going to is a bit more towards Athlone, which is called Roscommon. We're going to head there next. Okay, arriving now is going to be the 10:47 Irish Rail service from Westport to Athlone, which is going to be 22:217. This one is actually 2 units together, and the rear is 22:259. We're going to take this to Roscommon and I'll update you when we get there. Right, we've now reached Roscommon station, and the partner now is going to be the 1107. That's 22:217 and 22:259 leaving Roscommon station. Both of the trains have a display on them that say out of service. Also, if you didn't notice, on the first set one of the carriage's engines had gone, so the first set was only running on 3 engines, so basically running the same amount of engines as the other set. So this is Roscommon station. This is one of the biggest towns and is actually the county that this place is named after, County Roscommon. So yeah, another old station with a nice looking footbridge up there as well. We'll talk more about the station in just a second. It is the first station you get to when you leave Athlone, which is also the line that takes you to Galway. We're not going to Athlone today, we're going to be covering that on another video. Because this, like I say, this video is covering the bits of Westport and Ballina. So we'll talk about the station in just a moment, but this is Roscommon. Right, so this is station 2 of the day, Roscommon. This station is, so first of all, right up here is Roscommon signal cabin. This was used when the line had semaphores, along with Castlebar's one. When the line had semaphores, I believe quite a lot of the stations actually had their own individual signal cabins to work with the signals. But this one is no longer in use, as everything is controlled in a bit more of a central place now. So Roscommon itself, the station is quite an old one. It's actually listed on quite a few heritage websites, Irish heritage websites, because the station building there is very old, and obviously they have redone the windows, which is something, a pointless fact, but it's still one that they have never used to. It has been sort of polished up a little bit, but other than that, that's all that's really happened. It's so the line that goes to Westport, it's generally, I think it's a train every 2 to 3 hours. I think it's every 2 hours at best. I think it is generally about that. During the day, I think it is about every 2 hours. So that's actually quite depends on the day. But this weekend, it's generally every 2 hours, which is very good for Ireland. It will be said, outside of Dublin, let's say. What else is there to say? No, not a great deal. It is twinned with what's it called? Yeah, Tucson. I think that's how you say it. I bet you it's not even pronounced like that, but it's in Arizona in the US. So this place is also twinned with that. I've pronounced that wrong, I guarantee you I have, but I wasn't too sure. So and the actual town of Roscommon is located on the map roughly in the centre of Ireland, where quite a few roads meet up. So yeah, there you go. That is Roscommon station and Roscommon town. We are actually catching a bus from here, a coach by Bus Eireann, taking that to Claremorris, the next station we're going to. But for now, we'll stay here and see what happens. I think we do have something possibly coming through, but I don't know. Right, yeah, so we thought there was going to be a freight that came through, but it's going to be a liner. So I think it's going to be like this timber train that comes through. It goes towards Ballina, I believe, because it's coming from Athlone, but it hasn't turned up. So the thing is with Ireland is with freight, you can't track it like you can do in the UK. You kind of have to go off word of mouth, which is very interesting really. But yeah, you do. Usually someone will post on a group saying this is working this and this is departing at this time, then you have to kind of do the maths from there. So yeah, but yeah, so we're not going to see that, but we are going to head over to get our Bus Eireann service, heading over to Claremorris. We have got a VB, so that should be good. So if you don't know what VB is, that is a Sunsterdegui coach.
It's an SB3 B8 Harley.
Yes. So yeah, it will be a B8 Sunsterdegui, and we're going to take that over to Claremorris. So we'll update you when we get onto that and go from there. But yeah, this has been Roscommon, and we'll see you at the next station, which is Claremorris. Right, so now on board a Volvo B8 RLE Sunsterdegui. It's an SB3 model, so they do sound a lot like Evoras when you're on board. Got like an Evora style engine when it gears up, but you can't really tell unless you're on here really. And we have been on these before, but an SB3 one I don't think we've done too many of, but this is the 440 which heads to Westport. Starts in Athlone and goes to Westport. Covers basically all the places that the train also calls at, including Claremorris, which is where we're headed to. They also do have USBs, or a USB thing down there with a blue light you can see in the middle, and they've got like free Wi-Fi on board as well, so good for a long coach journey like this anyway. So when we get to Claremorris I will update you more, but it's fleet number VB426, and we'll update you when we get to Claremorris and film it leave the stop. Right, so now in Claremorris, and about to depart. Behind me is VB426. Which is the 442 Westport. There is another one over there which is going to do the 424 a little bit later outside the leisure centre. We're now going to head to the station and go from there. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. Go from there. A nice ride on that. It was really, really nice. A nice journey overall. So I'll update you soon. Right, so we're now just approaching into Claremorris station. Just outside is a Scania Century right there, just parked up. Normally does school runs apparently, hence the logo on the front, but it's just parked up. I think it might just be like an emergency thing, I presume, but yeah, it's an 08 plate Century, so it's one of the older coaches. Fleet number SC329, is it? 239. SC239. So we walked past that one, we're just in the car park, so we're going to head over into Claremorris station and catch our train to Ballyhaunis. That's our next station. I'll update you soon. So here we are at Claremorris. So what we mentioned at Roscommon about the liner is this one here, carrying freight and oil wagons over to Ballina. It's we did actually see it on the VB over here to Claremorris, but we actually were waiting at Castlebar's level crossing and it went past. We had to wait for it to cross before we could carry on, but it's here now. And yeah, so as I've said before in videos, freight is not common pretty much on anywhere in Ireland's network, so to get it is a pretty special thing. It's a lot rarer than what it is over in the UK, so obviously everyone, all the Irish veg, always make a big moment out of it, especially Noah. So this is Claremorris station. You can just see the other platform. There is 3 platforms here, but I think one of them is out of use. The other one is taken up by the liner. We only got a few minutes here, but I have enough time to tell you about a couple of facts about the station. But we are still in County Roscommon, so we still remain within that county. As for Claremorris though, opened in 1862, so it's not as old a station as some of the others we've been to. And also this station was meant to be a junction. Now there was a proposed Western Rail corridor which was proposed quite a few years ago, which was meant to go to Claremorris but also go to a place called, is it Tuam or Tuam? Tuam. Is that how you say it? Tuam to Claremorris, but it also went to Athlone. It's indefinitely suspended, the proposal, but it was meant to junction off here and go over to Tuam and over to Athlone from Tuam. So it was meant to be like a link up, a bit like a crossrail link up, if you like. Where have we seen that before? But that is Claremorris station. So our next station is Ballyhaunis, as we said before. Our train is arriving, so that's good timing. Just walk over here, get a bit closer. Here it is, 22225. This station's all done, very quick, but at least we got what we needed. And we're now going to head to Ballyhaunis, where we'll have a lot more time. I'll update you when we get there. Right, we now arrived at Ballyhaunis station. And curved platform, I believe it's 2 platforms, it's staggered I think here. But yeah, we're just going to watch this, 22225 head out. Should be heading out in a minute, but yeah, this is an interesting looking station just from the first impressions, so we'll see what it's like in a second when the train's gone and we have a better look. So that one goes, that is 22225 heading out on the 1400 actually, Irish Rail service to Dublin Houston from Westport. I did realise that the pretty much all trains from and to Westport now come from Dublin, so it's Dublin Houston Westport, Westport Dublin Houston. The one we got was an Athlone Westport, but that was only because it was the first one of the day. So here is the station. It is slightly staggered, it's not fully staggered, but it's but one platform is a lot shorter than the other, which is interesting to be honest, because this one spreads all the way out here. Was platform 2, just has this. I doubt even a 7-car, like 2 units together, could fit on that platform properly. So yeah, very short platform in comparison. We'll talk facts about the station in just a moment, but yeah, this is Ballyhaunis, however you pronounce it. I pronounced 2 versions, so I've at least got one of them right. Right, so here is an interesting fact about Ballyhaunis. The station has been open for a long time, but in 1879 there was a claim, and I'll try and keep this short and sweet because it's a very historic sort of fact. But this station attracted a lot of pilgrims coming over here. Reason is because they believed that an apparition, or what you would know as a ghost, of the Virgin St Mary was spotted here at Ballyhaunis, not at the station but in the town. It was the blessed, also it was also a ghost of Jesus Christ. It was also claimed to have been here, so yeah, but known as the Lamb of God. I'm not going to go all religious, but I am going to say that that is basically, this station attracted a lot of passenger traffic, and I mean a lot of it because of that. The station also in 2011 celebrated its 150th anniversary, and doing so they did a dedicate to, there's a local magazine which is called the Anak magazine, I think that's how you say it, and they had a whole theme dedicated to this station in there. Not the biggest celebration that you could do for an anniversary, but I guess for the town itself it's quite iconic. But it has been open a very long time, like a lot of these stations, so yeah, it's nice that they gave it some sort of appreciation. Also, has anyone noticed the station signs? This one in particular, and some of the others, they look like the railway tickets back home, because they've got a white middle and then orange borders either side. Do you notice that? Because they do look like train tickets. They've got the same colour scheme, and that's quite fascinating. So a little bit of a reminder of what it's like back in the UK. Our next station is going to be, and it's the tongue twister, Manulla Junction. That is up next. I actually said it without actually struggling for once, which is good. That will be the next station we go to, and we'll update you when our train arrives to take us there. If there's any other facts that we noticed whilst we're waiting, I'll point them out. Right, arriving in now is going to be the 1506 Irish Rail service to Westport from Dublin Houston. It is 22255, and I think that will be 217 on the rear, because we had that one earlier. They've come back from Dublin now. They've been to Dublin and back, so we'll update you when we get there. So Manulla Junction. Right, welcome to Manulla Junction station. I'm actually not going to be here very long because this is a transfer point station. It's not really anything else. I'll explain why in just a second. Let's just get up there. So the station, you change here for the line to Ballina, which is exactly what we're doing, and we're actually going to get on one of these rail cars which you've had before. As you can see, the station is a totally island platform, so, and the station also has no exit. You cannot leave Manulla Junction. All that happens is when you leave, well, you can. It's another example of this is Smallbrook Junction, which is on the Island line on the Isle of Wight. Exactly the same as this. It only exists to connect with trains. In Smallbrook Junction's case, it's a steam railway. Now we're going to head off to Foxford. Update you soon. Right, we now made it to Foxford station, and the partner now is 2810, it's part of one of the 28100 series of trains. it's actually nice to get a shot of them again, because I don't think I've actually done a video of Irish Rail or in Ireland where both of them have been in the same video. So yeah, there is another couple of shots. We are on a line that's full of that rail car now. It's literally just that one that does the branch, that's it. So welcome to single platform to Foxford. Looks like a station is somewhat of a work in progress, but does it? It's only because of the sign up there saying about the future and a development plan. I kind of just looked up.
2006.
Yep, 2000 to 2006. I didn't see that bit, so clearly it is the finished project then. Looks like they're not doing anything. They've had 18 years since 2006 to do that. So what was I going to say? Yeah, we'll talk about the station and its facts in just a second. We are on the branch line which runs from Manulla Junction to Ballina, and there is only 2 stations on it, Foxford and Ballina, and we're going to them both. We're not going to be here for too long because we have a bit of a walk to get to the next bus. We've got 2 more buses to get today, and we have 3 more stations to visit, and you'll see them as we go. You've already worked out one of them is Ballina, but the other 2 you'll see a bit later as well. So we'll talk about the station and its facts, and then we'll head over to catch the next bus to take us over to Ballina. Right, so Foxford, what facts are there? So the station opened in 1868. It was actually, the station was closed again in 1963, but it was against a lot of local opposition to not close this station. The station actually reopened in 1988, so it isn't actually the oldest station in Ireland, because it's quite newer in Ireland's standards, I think. It was owned by, I'm not even going to pronounce that, Corus Umper Eireann. Yeah, I got quite close. CIE is their abbreviation. And previously before that, it was owned by the Midland Great Western Railway. So it had a couple of owners. The station, as we can realise, has a single track and platform, and the remnants of a other platform on the western side, which is right here, can be seen, and you can see that used to be 2 platforms and not anymore.
There's a water tower there as well.
And yeah, there is an old water tower there. I don't think that could be accessed by anything, do you? Unless they stuck a hose to it.
Well, I doubt anything stopped here anyway, so because rails
No.
pass through.
Oh, fair enough then. So it's kind of pointless it being there
Unless
then.
unless you get the old forward stop, if it's a certain door.
That just sounds like a worst case scenario, to be honest.
Wouldn't need it, there's one's a Ballina.
It kind of looks more like a bus stop than a station with this shelter, doesn't it? Looks like a bus stop we get in the UK. Looks more of a bus stop than most of the bus stops in Ireland. Anyway, right, we're going to head over to Ballina now, and we'll update you when we get on our bus coach. So, funnily enough, just back here, it's a straight road basically to the bus stop we're about to head to. Right, the entire thing, it kind of looks like something out of a movie, just, you know, where someone runs away from home and you're just walking on this sort of straight road that just, it looks like that. It's literally just a straight road, and then it leads sort of straight out over to where the bus stop is in the town centre. But still, it just gives me that vibe, like, just, I don't know, TV and movie, whenever you see stuff like this, you kind of see this sort of setting, not exactly here obviously, but just in general. You see someone running away from home, the road is straight, there's cars coming and you try to pull them up, and it's like, yeah, it's just a bit like that. I don't know where I've got that vibe from, but it's just the way this place looks. Anyway, we're now going to head over, well, we are walking over to Foxford's only bus stop, I think it is anyway, and we're going to catch the 22, which is operated by Bus Eireann, over to Ballina, where we will catch the same rail car we had at Manulla Junction. So it's Manulla Junction. Do you know, if I can say Manila Junction, it might actually be in the Philippines, you never know, because that's the capital, isn't it? It sounds very similar, and you could easily get that mixed up if you pronounce it wrong. But yeah, we'll update you soon. There's Noah enjoying himself. Update you soon. Right, we're on board our next bus now, which is heading coach heading over to Ballina. This is a Scania Iarnrod i6, and taking us. The next stop is Ballina on it actually, so that's handy. We're on the 22, which runs actually out from Dublin city centre, goes through Dublin Airport.
No, it starts at the airport.
It starts at the airport. Ignore me. Yeah, it starts at the airport and comes out here, which is quite cool. From Dublin Airport to Ballina, and obviously on the way back as well. Funny enough, this one actually didn't track either, so we actually had to manually look for that one on Bus Eireann's website. So we found it. Noah found it anyway, and yeah, all good. Happy days. So yeah, we're off to Ballina. I'll update you soon. Right, so we're now here at Ballina bus station. It's only a small one here, but essentially just about 4 bays, and there's a load of VBs that are parked up over there basically. It's a little building here, which is the information building, which I think is still open, which is handy. But yeah, there was just hiding away behind that Iarnrod i6. The second one along was our bus, SE49, that brought us in from Foxford, only about 15-minute journey overall.
And then here's a PB.
Yep.
SP115, which are worth for 52 to Galway.
Very nice. So, I actually didn't know Ballina had a bus station until we just pulled up to it. So we're now going to head over to Ballina station, the railway station, and head back to Manulla Junction, where we're then going to head on to the final 2 stations on the bit to Westport. Obviously one of them is Westport. See what the other one is soon. Right, so welcome to Ballina station. We're going to go into the actual platform in just a moment, but just out here is an old, well, it's not an old crossing, it's actually an in-use crossing that gets used for the what I believe to be this 071 locomotive that's next to the rail car, just down there. Probably comes in because beyond here is a bunch of flat wagons, which at the moment are just doing absolutely nothing, obviously because they haven't got anything attached to it. So these flat wagons, essentially what they'll do is yeah, they'll just get hooked up to the loco and then go off somewhere, I'd imagine. But given that the freight operation around here isn't that good, or isn't that frequent I should say, I imagine they don't get pulled up very often. But when it does come, I guess someone has to manually pull these up to let the freight loco through, to let the 071 through, and yeah, pick up the wagons and take them away. Probably load up loads of timber on them, I'd imagine, because knowing the freight operation around here, it's probably timber workings around here. Noah, am I right in saying that it's a lot of timber that comes here?
What?
Am I right in saying it's timber that comes here?
And intermodal IWT and XPO runs.
Oh, okay. I only saw the flat wagons and just...
Hey look, it's that up there. It was ticking. Long way from there.
Anyway, right, so... Also, do you want to know a fun fact about Ireland, although you guys probably knew it? The post boxes are green. Everyone knows that. Come on, who doesn't know that? Anyway, right. Never pointed it out on a vid, so I just thought I'd say. Here we are anyway, this is Ballina station. I'll show you in just a moment with the facts. So, here is Ballina station, we're on the platform properly now. There's obviously a look of the train, the rail car, 2810, which is going to be going out on the 1710 to Manulla Junction. The headlights of the driver's just gone in to sort them out, he's just done that. Station obviously has a runaround loop. Ballina Freight Yard is actually probably Irish Rail's major freight hub. It's probably the one major freight hub in Ireland. It's mostly bulk timber that goes from here, I was right. I don't know why I got that from, but I was quite certain that this area was quite common for it. So in 2019 as well, it was announced that the freight yard was going to get a €1 million investment, which would renew the railway tracks used in the freight yard, and it also served as a focal point for the supply of turf to Dublin during the Second World War. So this area was really important, and it still is for freight. It's crazy. This place is basically Ireland's freight hub. It seems to be what it is. So yeah, it was like daily deliveries of up to 40 trucks of fuel to supply Ballina. So yeah, it was a really, really important town, and it still is really. So yeah, obviously we've got no war now, but it's still a really like frequent, well, popular place for freight. Well, not popular, important place for freight, intermodal stuff, timber, everything. Right, I'm going to stop waffling on. The next station we're going to is Westport. We're going to change at Manulla Junction and literally rush over, so I'll update you when we get to Manulla Junction. I can't say it, it's such a tongue twister, and go from there. Update you soon. Okay, there's a couple of things we're going to do. So first of all, this is the interior of the 28100 train. And as you can tell, the seats are quite basic. The tables are here. It might as well be a 3+2 seated train, because let's be honest, it acts as that. Even though it's 2+2 seating, it genuinely is one of the worst trains I've ever been on. I'm only saying that because it smells on board, and it's just not one of my favourites. So I do like Irish Rail, don't get me wrong, just these trains to me aren't my favourite. The other thing is, and I would like Noah to do the honours, is the dust test. Here we go on the 28100s. Well, that wasn't very good. Tapped it 3 times and quite a bit of dust came out, so unfortunately it fails the dust test, like most trains, even in the UK. Update you soon when we get back to Manulla Junction. Right, here we are at Manulla Junction again, and we're now going to head on to Westport, and we'll update you when we get there. Update you soon. Right, we just made it into Westport, the terminus. This is the station that has the start of the trains that go to Dublin Houston, so a direct link to Dublin. We'll talk about the station in just a moment, but we have now reached terminus again. Ballina being the other one, we've now also reached Westport. So yeah, it's an interesting looking station, I'll be honest with you, but I will talk more about it in just a second. We've got a little while here, so. Right, here we are at Westport, the terminus of the Dublin to Westport rail route. The station was opened as Westport Town, so that was its original name, in 1866 by the, again, Midland Great Western Railway, mentioned them earlier. What else to say? So this station is also near a place called, funnily enough, Newport, but it's at Newport in Ireland. It's a different one, it's not across the sea or anything to get back over to South Wales or over to Essex or over to Shropshire. No, it's a Newport in actual Ireland. There was a branch line that went as far as there, and actually reached Newport in 1895. Went to a place called, I think it was Achill, in a year before, 1894. But it closed to basically everything in 1941, including freight. So yeah. So actually no, sorry, 1978 it was used by freight up until then, and then the whole route was dismantled and turned into a, funnily enough, a cycleway. So yeah, that's basically what happened to the route beyond here, which used to happen. There was actually a key station as well, and again it was obliterated, completely demolished, as plans for, you guessed it, a housing development. So yeah, yeah, that is Westport station. It's a very small little station actually. I like it though. But we got here about half an hour, and then we're gonna head over to Castlebar, the last station of the day. Update you soon. Right, here we are at Castlebar, and we'll update you with some facts about the station in just a moment.
Castlebar.
That's what Noah says. Right, here we are at Castlebar. Final station of the day, this one. It is the penultimate stop on the line before you reach Westport, or the first one as you go towards Dublin. The station actually is the only one we've been to that has a station sign that's fully painted in dark blue, which is a bit of a random fact, but it is the only one we've been to that has had that today. So every other one has had at least an orange and white sign, so that one's obviously been painted differently. Not sure why.
Oh yeah, as well, sad thing. Look on the disused platform. Look at the way there used to be old signage, which is now.
Yeah, I know.
Sad.
It's all changed. Yeah, so that platform is disused, but it looks like it's been looked after in some way, which is pretty cool. So that's good. Also, the station opened in 1862, and also one of the oldest pubs in Castlebar is called John McHale's pub, where they sell what's called a medium of Guinness, or if that's what you call it, which is based
within the county town of County
Yeah,
Mayo.
this is in the county town of County Mayo, not mayonnaise, just Mayo. Which is slightly, and the medium of Guinness is a slightly less than a pint. And obviously, if you know you're Irish, you'll know that Guinness is their signature drink. So, and you don't drink a better Guinness than one in Ireland. Simple as that. But also the pub in question, John McHale's pub, once was known by a national tabloid to have the best pint of Guinness in Ireland. So I wonder if it actually lays claim to that. That's an interesting one. Anyway, right. Next time maybe. But thank you all for watching today's video from every platform Ireland. Also, you've covered the line to Westport and Ballina. It's been a fantastic day.
Far west.
The far west is done. So thank you all for watching. If you have liked what you've seen, do like and subscribe. And do leave any comments, because we'll get back to them as when I can. Any recommendations are welcome. So leave those in the comments too. Joining today, of course, was Noah. And it's always a pleasure to have him along. Hopefully, when I'm back again, we'll have him here again. Or, of course we will. Shock. Anyway, thank you for watching. We've got to rush off now, but shall see you in the next video from every platform. But from me here in Castlebar, see you soon. Bye bye.